Hi, guys. So let's talk about what your daily life should look like with your dog. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail, but a question that I get is so do I really have to do this? Like, do I really have to, for the rest of my dog's life? Like, they have to sleep in a crate, they have to be in a crate when I'm gone. Like, I have to do all this structure stuff for the rest of my dog's life? Oh my god, that sucks. First of all, if you have to, it's okay. Like, it's fine. The structure is not going to hurt your dog. It's going to help them in a lot of ways. It's going to help them. But secondly, you probably won't have to. So you probably won't have to do it for the rest of the dog's life. But again, if you do, it's fine. So if you put in the work in the beginning, whether it is when you first get a puppy, the first year or two after you get a puppy, or the first year or two after you adopt an adult dog, if you put in your work then and are super strict about it, you can relax quite a bit later in that dog's life without any bad side effects. So, like with Abe, I've had him 2 years. So, about a year and a half into it, I started being able to loosen up a little bit. So he didn't have to be closed in his crate at night. He still preferred to sleep in his crate. His crate was in my bedroom. It was at the foot of my bed. And that's where he slept, and that's where he preferred. I could start letting him on the furniture when he was invited up. And he couldn't just jump up there. But in the beginning, he wasn't allowed up there at all. Even if I wouldn't even invite him up. So a year and a half in, I started letting him up on the furniture if I invited him up. Couldn't just jump up there on his own. So I was able to loosen the reins a little bit because I had spent the time, I had done the structure stuff, I had established the routine, established the expectations and the boundaries, and he was very comfortable in those boundaries, within those rules. So I was able to loosen up a little bit. So Abe now has kind of the run of the house at night. He sleeps usually on the bed with me because I moved into my house, but I don't have any furniture yet, so my mattress is on the floor. So, he doesn't know that it's not his bed. He does know that it's not his bed, but I still allow him to sleep on the bed with me most nights. If I need to kick him off, I don't feel bad because he's a dog. Hey, you're in my spot. Get out, get off. And so he has a crate in my room, so he goes and huffs and sighs when I kick him off the bed. And I don't feel bad about it because he's a dog. But he has kind of the run of the house at night. He's still in his indoor-outdoor run outside during the day while I'm at work. He could be loose in the house. But Sky cannot be loose in the house. She's in her indoor-outdoor run, so I just put him out there too. They have side-by-side runs, separated. And he's happier out there anyway, But point is, you can loosen the reins quite a bit as you get down the road with your dog. But you can't loosen the reins if you don't have strict rules and boundaries to begin with. If you half-ass it in the beginning, you're going to have to half-ass it your whole life. You're going to have to do that structure your whole life, the dog's whole life. But if you are really strict in the beginning and really set those expectations high, you can loosen up quite a bit after some time. So I made a post about this today. Sky is starting to earn her privileges to free roam the house while I'm home. So I've had her for 2.5, 3 months ish. And at first, she had zero free roaming in my house. Zero. She could, she was off-leash trained very quickly because I live on a small farm and it's a pain in the ass to carry around a long line and keep her with me trying to do barn chores. So she was off-leash trained within a week of getting her. So she can play, she can run around outside, doesn't matter. But when she's in the house In the beginning, she was either in her crate or on place. She had no free roaming. If I was working with her in the house, that's fine, but she was right there with me. She had no free roaming. Mostly because she cannot chill the F out. She couldn't. I had to help her be chill. So if she was a dog that just kind of hung out with me, maybe walked to the next room, came back, hung out with me, real chill, I probably wouldn't have been as strict with the no free roaming, but she could not function and be calm. She had to walk around the house and whine softly the whole time. She was just an anxious dog. So I had to spend the time to hold her accountable and to teach her how to relax. And I did that by establishing very strict boundaries. You have to stay on place. You have to. It's not negotiable. I don't care what you do on place, but you have to be on that place bed. So eventually she learned, I might as well just sleep. It's just as easy. Might as well. So now she's learned to be calm. So now she can free roam the house a little bit. So this evening after work, I let her free roam a little bit. And she just lay down at the bottom at my chair on the floor, lay down on the floor by my chair and just took a nap. Perfect. Awesome. Love that. And it's like, okay, well, she would have been napping on place. So what's the difference? She would have never been able to just chill out before. But since I've given her those boundaries and those expectations and allowed her to relax and taught her how to relax, she can do it on her own now. And it's not so frantically anxious, her state of mind, walking around the house. And she gets up, she goes into the kitchen, she goes, looks out the sliding glass door on the deck, and then she walks back over and lays back down and sometimes she'll just go to her bed, So she's earning that freedom because I'm being really strict in the beginning. Okay? Make sense? Questions? Let me know.